One day, when I got home, my room was completely empty. What is this? What's going on? As I stood there in shock, I heard my sister-in-law's triumphant voice from behind me.
An unproductive woman who can't have kids is just in the way. Get out.
She was trying to kick me out and take over the house because I'm single. There's no way I can let that happen. I'm going to expose all your evil schemes. My name is Caitlin. I just turned 40, still single, and working as a company employee. It's not that I never had a chance to meet someone, but for various reasons, I never ended up getting married. Sometimes I feel a bit lonely, but, well, that's life. I've reached the age where I can accept that marriage isn't everything. Being single is actually pretty stress-free. There's also the matter of caring for my aging mom. I have one brother, but he lives far away from our hometown. He left to pursue his dream job, and after our father passed away 3 years ago, Mom's been living alone. I lived not too far from her, and I was worried about her as she got older, so I made the decision to move in with her. Now, it's just the two of us, enjoying a peaceful and carefree life together as two women. Even though her mind is still sharp, she broke her leg a year ago, and now she has trouble walking. She can't get around without a cane, and mostly relies on a car or a wheelchair to move. Even inside the house, she struggles, and she needs some assistance. The only reason I'm able to help with her care is that I'm single and living with her. If I had married or lived far away, it would have been a lot more difficult. That's why being single worked out for me. Yeah, I'm content with it, but not everyone feels the same. My sister-in-law, Tina, is one of those people. My brother married someone much younger, so my sister-in-law is in her early 30s, younger than me. They live far away, but they still come back for the holidays, like Thanksgiving or Christmas. However, every time they visit, my sister-in-law treats me with a certain disdain. This Thanksgiving, when my brother's family came to visit, she whispered in my ear,
Caitlin, are you still leeching off your parents?
No, I wouldn't say that I'm leeching.
At 40, still living at home and single, you're nothing but a parasite.
Do you think so?
Of course. I'm raising 3 kids, you know? Do you get what that means?
What do you mean?
The population in this country is declining, right? We're doing our part to boost it. But someone like you, single at 40, is just a burden, a liability.
A liability.
Do you enjoy contributing to the population decline? What's the point of your life if you're going to stay single forever?
That's crossing the line.
Why don't you at least have one child?
Her words cut deep. I may be single now, but it's not that I didn't have someone I wanted to marry. It's just that my body has a bit of an issue. To put it plainly, I can't have children. When my boyfriend, who wanted to marry me, proposed, I was honest with him about it from the start. He told me, I just want to be with you, we'll be happy even without kids, and we dated for a while, but in the end, marriage is more than just about two people. After some tough times, I ended up staying single. Her cruel words left me speechless. Yet, she still constantly pesters me for favors.
We have 3 kids, so you better give them big Christmas gifts. No discrimination. For the preschool entry gift, at least $1,000. Don't tell me you're too poor to give that much, old lady. Don't you think kids deserve a good education? Oh wait, you wouldn't understand, since you don't have any kids. Well, let me help you feel some of the joy of raising them. Why don't you pay for their lessons?
It seems like she thinks she can just use the kids as an excuse to get money out of me. Sure, I give them Christmas gifts and cash gifts. But checking the amount on the spot and then making a tisk sound is not something I deserve. And why on earth should I be paying for their lessons? Even when I talk to my mom or my brother about it, they just look at me like they can't believe it, because they never see that side of her. Yes, she only says those things or acts that way when it's just the two of us. She's got it down to a science. This past Thanksgiving, she had the kids open my cash gifts for them right in front of me. It happened while my brother and mom were out running an errand. And what did she say then? What? Only this much? How broke is this stingy woman? Of course, my mom and brother couldn't believe she said something like that, so I'm starting to think I should just start recording her. But I can't complain too much because it might cause trouble. After all, my mom loves her 3 grandkids. If I cause a fuss and my sister-in-law refuses to visit, my mom won't get to see them. That would be too cruel to her. So I keep telling myself that if I just endure it, everything will be fine. As long as I hold back, things will stay peaceful. At least, that's what I thought, until one day, everything changed. It happened on a weekday when my sister-in-law came over. Since it was a weekday, my brother was at work, and I was working from home. Mom was out at a daycare service. The kids were at daycare too, and afterward, they were being watched by her parents, so she came alone. That was unusual. I thought, what's going on? Then she suddenly said, "So, I'm thinking about moving in here." What? I was completely caught off guard. Out of nowhere, she drops this bombshell. What do you mean by moving in?
I mean, we're going to live here.
Who?
My family.
Where?
In this house.
Why?
I'm pregnant with our 4th child.
Wait, what? They already have 3 kids. The oldest is in elementary school, the middle one is in preschool, and the youngest just started preschool recently. 3 kids, and now a 4th. Honestly, I was impressed. But right now, they live near her parents, so they can get help watching the kids, like today. So then, what's the benefit of moving all the way over here?
Michael's getting transferred over here.
Michael is my brother. Oh, yeah, he mentioned that last time. Apparently, the company is finally opening a branch in our hometown. When they asked who wants to go, he apparently raised his hand without hesitation. Is it really that easy to make staffing decisions like that? Tina, wouldn't you have preferred to stay near your parents?
My parents are still working, so I can rely on them too much. If I ask them too often, they give me that look, and they tell me, ask your husband first or don't have kids if you're planning to depend on us. I can't exactly tell them we're having a fourth child, can I?
How should I know? But I get where her parents are coming from. According to my brother, when he gets home from work, he cleans, does laundry, and even makes dinner. My sister-in-law confirmed that, too. I'm sure my brother's exhausted from work, but he's been doing everything he can to help her out. That might explain why he always looks so tired when I see him. And now they are having another kid. That seems like poor planning. But still, a baby is a blessing. I'm not going to tell them to stop having children. But why do they need to move in with us? As I stood there puzzled, my sister-in-law continued.
It's such a hassle dealing with my parents, and it's too inconvenient living out there in the middle of nowhere. I figured, why not just move here instead of doing the whole long distance thing?
Well, there are a lot of daycares here.
Exactly. So, Caitlin, you need to move out soon.
What? Once again, I was caught completely off guard. What is she talking about? This is the second time she's said this. Well, we'll have to discuss living arrangements with Mom and my brother, but why should I have to leave?
Think about it. We're about to be a family of 6.
Yes, I see that.
Then this house will be too small.
Well, yes, that could be true.
So, I'm telling you to move out.
No, that doesn't make sense. Sure, 6 people is a lot, but with me and Mom, that makes 8. We could still make it work. It's not like the kids will need their own rooms anytime soon. Thinking that far ahead is pointless. Seeing my still confused expression, she got frustrated and raised her voice.
I'm saying that an unproductive old woman who can even have kids like you is in the way. Get out so we can live here.
Wait, what?
Oh, and don't move too far away. We'll still need you to help with the kids.
What? After saying all those ridiculous things, she made sure to emphasize, "You better move out soon," and then left. This definitely calls for a family meeting. That night, I told my mom what my sister-in-law had said, and I also called my brother. In the end, my brother said he'd get a separate house for them.
I know I'm on business trips a lot, and I probably put her through a lot. That's why we've been living near her parents. But does she really hate living in the countryside that much?
I could sense my brother shaking his head on the other end of the phone. It didn't quite sit right with me, but for now, the whole idea of living together was off the table. Or so I thought. One day, after finishing up some remote work, I went to the office for the first time in a while. My mom was out, staying overnight at a care facility. I came home exhausted from work, and was shocked when I walked into the house. What? My room? Where are all my things? I walked into my room to find it completely empty. Everything was gone. What's going on? It was definitely the house I lived in. But my room was completely bare. Where are all my favorite things?
I threw them out, obviously.
I screamed in shock, and suddenly a voice from behind startled me so much I almost jumped out of my skin. I turned around, and there stood my sister-in-law. "Tina, what are you doing here at this time of night?"
Keep it down. You'll wake the kids.
Wait, your 3 kids are here.
There's no bed until our stuff arrives tomorrow, so we're sleeping on the couch in the living room.
I rushed into the living room, and there they were, my nieces and nephews, sound asleep. What is happening? My sister-in-law looked down at my shocked face with a smug smile and said,
You weren't moving out, so I took matters into my own hands.
I'm not moving out. I already talked to Michael about it.
Do you think that's going to fly? Do you even realize how much trouble you've caused us?
Who's causing trouble here? I'm the one being inconvenienced. I wanted to say that, but with the kids sleeping, I bit my tongue. Ignoring my restraint, she raised her voice even more. I don't care what your mom or my husband thinks. Once we move in, they won't say anything about it. What did you do with my stuff?
I had a junk removal company haul it all away.
No way. She threw out everything, my albums, all my precious things. This is insane.
Now that you get it, hurry up and get out already.
Wait a sec.
No more talking.
I tried to resist, but she was younger and stronger than me. She shoved me out the front door, and I ended up outside. It was nighttime, and I didn't want to make a scene, but she ignored the doorbell and my calls. With no other choice, I spent the night in a business hotel. The next day, I took some emergency leave from work, rushing back to the house. As I tried to unlock the door, my sister-in-law appeared before I could even get inside. Oh, Tina, I was going to contact Michael, but I couldn't get through. Anyway, we need to talk.
Michael's on a long business trip overseas. With the time difference, it's hard to get a hold of him. I'm heading out, so please watch the kids for me.
Wait, Tina. She left me standing there, stunned, all dressed up. Reluctantly, I looked after her 3 kids and greeted my mom with a bitter expression when she returned that evening. Mom, this is just too much, don't you think?
Yeah, ignoring Michael's opinion and doing all this is a bit too much.
Leaving her 3 kids like that. If she needs help, she should have asked her own parents.
You're right. What's the real reason she even wants to live here?
Now that you mention it, she was all dressed up when she left.
Really? Maybe that's a clue.
After nodding in agreement with my mom's words, I immediately hired a private investigator to look into it. A month later, I'm living in a temporary apartment I hurriedly found. My room at the family home had been completely remodeled to suit my sister-in-law's tastes, leaving no trace of what it once was. My brother was furious, telling her,
You can't just do whatever you want.
but she reportedly responded, Well, I live here now, so that's that. She even said,
You're hardly ever home because of work? I moved here to be with you, but raising kids is tough. It's only natural I should get help.
When it was pointed out that mom needs care, she added, Caitlin's always home, right? She's not busy, so it's fine for her to help. Just because I work from home doesn't mean I'm doing nothing. But she seemed determined to keep me from moving back. Still, she shouldn't think she can get away with this forever.
We're having a family meeting.
My brother declared. And so, today, we're sitting down for a family discussion.
This is stressing me out, so hurry up. It's bad for the baby.
She muttered, rubbing her not yet showing belly. Ignoring her complaints, my brother, mother, sister-in-law, and I sat down together in the living room. By the way, the kids were in daycare. First of all, Tina, I need you to apologize for throwing out my things without my permission. My sister-in-law snorted at my words and responded without a hint of remorse.
It's your fault for not moving out sooner. Someone like you, who can even have kids, should just live in some dingy little apartment.
It's true I can't have kids, but I've been living here to take care of Mom.
Well, your mom would be much happier living with her grandkids than with you.
She looked over at my mom as she said this.
Well, I'd love to live with my grandkids, sure, but…
Hearing that, my sister-in-law's face lit up triumphantly.
See, did you hear that? Living with us is way more meaningful than living with someone as useless as you.
But you know…
Ignoring her, my mom continued.
That's only if they were really my grandkids.
Ah.
My sister-in-law was bewildered, not understanding what Mom meant. At that moment, my brother slid a large envelope across the table.
What's this?
The results of your affair investigation.
My brother said calmly.
What?
Shocked, my sister-in-law looked at my brother, but he kept speaking matter-of-factly.
Did you really think you wouldn't get caught?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not having an affair.
Is that so? Then I guess these pictures must be fake.
As she continued to deny it, my brother pulled out a few photos from the envelope and laid them on the table. And there it was.
What? No, wait.
The photos clearly showed my sister-in-law cozying up with some other guy.
I thought it was strange when you insisted on moving here, away from your own parents, who were willing to help with the kids.
Well, it's just more convenient living in the city, isn't it?
Then why have you been making Caitlin take care of the kids instead of using any childcare services?
I need a break too.
Then use childcare services like today.
That's a waste of money.
I've given you plenty of money.
I'm saving it for the future.
Then why is the bank account balance at zero?
As he said this, my brother opened the bank book, which indeed showed a balance of 0.
What? How dare you go through that?
It's our family's money, so I have every right to look. Now, where's all this future savings you're talking about?
In another account.
Oh, really? Then show me the bank book.
I don't have it right now.
Where is it?
Well,
I was wondering how long she would keep lying, but in the end, Tina stumbled over her words. Even though it's not that hot, beads of sweat are forming on her forehead.
maybe in the attic.
At that moment, my brother slammed his fist on the table.
Enough! You really think you can keep lying with these photos right in front of you?
I'm sorry. It just happened.
You've been seeing this guy ever since we got married, haven't you? I heard everything from him.
What? How did you talk to him?
He's got a family too, and didn't want me to tell his wife, so he came clean about everything.
What? He betrayed me.
No, you betrayed me.
My sister-in-law was panicking in front of my furious brother, But eventually, she calmed down, and the sweat on her forehead dried up. Then she said,
Okay, fine. I admit the affair was wrong. I won't do it again.
Of course you won't.
But I don't think we should get divorced. The kids should stay with their mother, and besides, I'm pregnant with a new life. You wouldn't want to be separated from your child, right?
She glanced at me as she said this.
You can have kids, so if we divorce and I take the children, you'll never have grandkids again. Hey, is that what you want?
She turned to my mother. Seeing us remain silent, my sister-in-law smirked, feeling victorious.
See, a useless woman like her should just leave. It's only right.
She puffed out her chest proudly. But then it happened.
Well, in that case, someone as unproductive for me as you should leave too, along with the children.
My mother said this quietly.
What?
My sister-in-law looked stunned, as if she couldn't comprehend what had just been said. That's when my brother handed her some documents.
What? What's this? A paternity test. Wait, what? Denied. What is this?
It's the DNA test results for me and the kids.
When did you?
That's none of your business. All you need to know is that none of the 3 kids are mine, and here are the results for you and your lover. Confirmed, meaning they're his kids.
What? No way.
The 3 kids aren't mine, which means they're not mom's grandkids either. They're complete strangers.
No, this can't be.
It's not a lie. You knew the whole time, didn't you? You knew and still tricked me with those kids, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
The guy told me everything. He said you told him. It's so sad that I can't live with my own kids.
My sister-in-law turned pale, as if she might collapse at any moment. Then, my mother piled on the pressure.
That's exactly why. Since you can't bear my son's children, you're the unproductive one here. Now, get out with your kids.
What? You're going to throw us out on the street? What about those innocent children? You heartless people.
Just as she tried to play the sympathy card,
The heartless one is you.
a booming voice echoed through the room. My sister-in-law spun around, eyes wide.
Dad, what are you and Mom doing here?
Yes, her parents were standing right there.
I explained everything to them. They've agreed to take in the kids.
You idiot. How could you do something this shameful as a parent?
I'm sorry.
It seemed she couldn't stand up to her father, who glared at her while she sobbed.
Michael and everyone, I'm so sorry for what my foolish daughter has done. We'll make sure she pays the alimony.
Wait, alimony? I can't pay that. Dad, are you going to cover it for me?
No way. I'll lend it to you, but you'll pay me back for the rest of your life if you have to.
No way.
Her father dragged her out, sobbing uncontrollably. Her mother, deeply in apology, was a stark contrast. They were decent parents, yet somehow they raised a daughter like her. Parenting is tough. I found myself thinking about that almost absent-mindedly. Afterward, my brother finalized the divorce. Her parents covered the alimony and the money she had spent on her affair in one lump sum. The kids were taken in by her parents, where they had often stayed before, so they adapted well and are growing up happy and healthy.
Those kids aren't to blame.
My brother, who had believed they were his children, said this with a touch of sadness. I couldn't imagine how hard it must be to suddenly be told they aren't his. I hope his heart heals one day. It would be 3 years before my brother met someone new and had real children of his own. But that's another story. As for my ex-sister-in-law, she gave birth to her 4th child, and just to be sure, they ran a paternity test. As expected, it wasn't my brother's. Under her parents' strict supervision, she seemed to be working hard from morning till night for a while, but she couldn't help herself and kept seeing her lover. Eventually, the man's wife found out. After a big blow-up, she ended up having to pay even more in alimony and was kicked out of the house by her parents. No one knows what became of her after that. As for me, I've continued living peacefully, taking care of my mom as always. In fact, I managed to get all of my things back that she had thrown out, thanks to contacting the junk removal service that same day. One peaceful day, someone from my past appeared in front of me.
Long time no see.
It was him, the man I had once fought about marrying.
My parents finally gave in after realizing I couldn't forget about you and stayed single all this time. Of course, it might have something to do with my younger brother getting married and having kids, but they've finally given me the green light to marry whoever I want.
As I stood there, dumbfounded, he held out a ring.
It might be too late, but I can't imagine being with anyone else. I want to help take care of your mom too. So, will you please marry me?
I couldn't hold back the tears, and my face was a mess. Without hesitation, I leaped into his arms, where he stood, smiling gently,